Hi, I'm Daniel Andrews, owner and creator of the DAN Show, and welcome to my latest 2022 NFL preview video. Today, I'm going to break down the New York Giants, and here's how my videos work. I start off with 3 things I like about the New York Giants, followed up by 3 things I don't like about the Giants, and at the end, I break down the schedule, and I go over the yearly win total odds, and then I reveal if I'm going to put action down on the Giants. So, hey, let's start with 3 things I like about the New York Giants. First thing I like about the Giants is their front 7. And if you don't know who Leonard Williams is, it's only because the Giants have had a bad football team over the last couple of years. This is one of the best defensive linemen in all of football. If you were to say, God, build me a 5 technique, it would be Leonard Williams. This guy is big. This guy is athletic. He's like a brick wall to run against, and then he could also get after the passer. You put him with former first-round pick Dexter Lawrence and Justin Ellis, a free agent from Baltimore. These 3 guys are over 1.5 ton of trouble. This is a massive front defensive line. And then on the outside, you got Azeez Ojulari. This is one of my favorite players coming out of the draft last year. The Giants got him in the 2nd round. I thought he should have gone in the 1st. I love this kid. He was a redshirt sophomore coming out of Georgia. Just turned 22. He led the team in sacks, and he's just got massive upside. The only thing is that the guy opposite him, Kayvon Thibodeaux, has even more of an upside. This is the best pure pass rusher in the draft, and he turns 22 in December. It's really just a matter of time before Ojulari and Thibodeaux become the best pass rushing duo maybe in the NFL. It wouldn't surprise me if both these guys get double-digit sacks, maybe not this year, but next year. This is just going to be one of the best pass rushing duos in the National Football League for years to come. But you combine those 2 guys with unlimited potential with a massive defensive line. This front 7 is really, really going to be something to watch in 2022. Second thing I like about the New York Giants is their tackle duo. In the NFL, you need 3 things to be successful. You need a quarterback, you need a left tackle, and you need an edge rusher. I already talked about their edge rushers, but they have their guy in Andrew Thomas on the left side. This was the 4th pick in the 2020 NFL draft, and the plan was he was going to start day 1 on the right side, and then they had a very expensive free agent left tackle, Nate Solder, but in 2020 he sat out. So instead of starting his career on the right side and then transitioning to the left, he had to be a day 1 starter on the left side. And he did struggle as a rookie, but he got better as the year progressed. And then Nate Solder did come back and he played on the right side. Andrew Thomas stayed on the left side. And he's been banged up a little bit, but coming into year 3, I expect big things from Andrew Thomas. This is one of my favorite players coming out of Georgia. This is a massive left tackle with really good feet, and he could have a Pro Bowl caliber season. And on the right side, you have one of the few human beings on planet Earth that's bigger than Andrew Thomas. You have the 6'7", 330-pound Evan Neal. This guy played at multiple positions at Alabama, and he could play left tackle if you needed him to, but I think this is a prototypical right tackle. And I think with his size and athleticism, he could be a Pro Bowl right tackle as a rookie. It wouldn't surprise me at the end of this year if he's considered one of the 5 best right tackles in the National Football League. If nothing else, the Giants have struggled on the offensive line for a long time, but if nothing else, they got a couple bookend tackles at they should be set for a very long time at offensive tackle. Now, the third thing I like about the New York Giants is I like their coaching staff. First off, when you bring in a rookie head coach, I love it when you bring in an experienced coordinator come in and assist. And defensive coordinator Wink Martindale is one of the best and well-respected defensive coordinators in the NFL. If you don't know his situation, the Baltimore Ravens linebacker coach, former linebacker coach, took over as defensive coordinator at Michigan. And after this season, they decided that they wanted to bring him back to Baltimore to be the defensive coordinator. And Wink Martindale is now with the Giants. Now, technically, Wink Martindale, yes, he did get fired, but it wasn't because he did a bad job. It's more because the Ravens want to go in a different direction. In case you're not aware, the Michigan Wolverines head coach and the Baltimore Ravens head coach are brothers and know each other very well. They're very close. So they were both involved in this. The linebacker coach going to Michigan as defensive coordinator. So you are getting, even though he was fired, you are still getting one of the best and most respected defensive coordinators. And he didn't do a bad job in Baltimore last year. Now, Mike Kafka is a first-time offensive coordinator, but the former quarterback coach with the Kansas City Chiefs, before he took over as the quarterback coach, as an assistant, he was talked about as being a future NFL head coach. It's really rare when you're not even a position coach to be talked about as a future NFL head coach. But even though you may not know who Mike Kafka is, Mike Kafka is very well known in NFL circles. This will be a future NFL head coach very soon, maybe even as soon as 2023. So if you're wondering who this guy is, this is a guy who's very well known in NFL circles. He was quarterback coach with the Kansas City Chiefs, but he is a first-time offensive coordinator. Brian Daboll, the head coach, had a lot of success in Buffalo as their offensive coordinator. One side note that I want to bring out is that Brian Daboll and Mike Kafka coming from Baltimore and Kansas City, these are pass-heavy offenses. And the previous regime within the New York Giants had a run-heavy offense set up. So I'm kind of going to watch that. It's not necessarily a bad thing, just knowing that this team in 2021 was set up to be a run-heavy team. The coaching staff is a pass-heavy coaching staff. So just to summarize the three things I like about the New York Giants. First off, I love this front seven. Second off, I love the tackle duo. And third, I like this coaching staff. Now, three things I don't like about the New York Giants. First thing I don't like about the New York Giants is their quarterback situation. Now, I like the fact that they're sticking with Daniel Jones, and I don't want to go into a ton of detail, but the way NFL contracts work is that if you're chosen in the first round, you get a 4-year contract and then a 5th-year team option. Daniel Jones on year 4. That 5th-year team option, you take a big financial jump. It's estimated that Daniel Jones is going to make somewhere between 22 and 25 million if the Giants do keep him around for year 5. And if the Giants do keep him around for year 5, they're in a salary cap situation where they have to get very creative just to give him that 5th-year deal. Now, if Daniel Jones pans out and plays really well, Daniel Jones could hold out. But bottom line, even if the Giants wanted to, with the contracts that Deshaun Watson got and Kyler Murray just got, the Giants, even if they wanted to, they can't give Daniel Jones that contract. So the way the Giants quarterback situation is set up, it's almost better that Daniel Jones fails and they just draft a quarterback in 2023, because even if he is successful, they can't really afford to pay him next year. And that goes hand in hand with the second thing I don't like about the New York Giants is that Daniel Jones doesn't have a number 1 wide receiver. Evan Ingram led the team in receptions last year, and Devontae Booker was 3rd in receptions, and both of those players are gone. The player who was 2nd in receptions is Saquon Barkley. The Giants did give Kenny Galladay a lot of money, and he had 37 receptions for 521 yards and 0 touchdowns. They did draft in the 2nd round Wan'Dale Robinson, but he's very much like Isaiah McKenzie, who Brian Daboll coached in Buffalo. He's a returner, slot guy. Not really a full-time wide receiver. By the way, he did re-sign with Buffalo on a 2-year, $4 million deal. They gave Wan'Dale Robinson a 4-year, $8.1 million rookie deal. The difference is that McKenzie has been with Brian Daboll for the last 3 years and knows the offense, where Robinson's a rookie. In Buffalo, Josh Allen really didn't play well until he got Stephon Diggs. And then Mike Kafka, the offensive coordinator, who's the quarterback coach in Kansas City for Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes had Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill. So part of the reason that Daniel Jones struggled his first 3 years in New York was the offensive line situation. Well, Andrew Thomas approaching year 3 and drafting Evan Neal, they've really addressed the offensive line situation, but they didn't fix the free agent defections. And on 3rd and 7, who is he going to? So it really works hand in hand with the Giants quarterback situation, because everything looks like they're just going to move on from Daniel Jones in 2023. Not only would they struggle to pay him, he doesn't even have the targets necessary to really succeed. And this goes hand in hand with the third thing I don't like about the New York Giants, and that the NFC East is going to be tough. Both Dallas and Philly made the playoffs last year, and I can argue both these teams have made improvements for 2022, and then I can argue Washington's going to be significantly better. And while Dallas and Philly made the playoffs, Washington still finished 3 games better than the Giants, who are bringing in a whole new coaching staff. They're the only team in the NFC East that is bringing in a new coaching staff. Bottom line, no matter how you look at it, it's going to be really difficult for the Giants to stay out of the NFC East cellar. This is a tough division, and they got their work cut out for them. So just to recap the 3 things I don't like about the Giants. Number 1, I don't like the quarterback situation. Even if Daniel Jones does do well, it's going to be really hard to pay him in 2023. He doesn't have a wide receiver, number 1, which is the second thing. And number 3, this NFC East division is very tough. Now, let's take a look at the schedule. I'll go over the yearly win total odds, and I'm going to reveal if I'm betting on the New York Giants this year. Out of all the teams I've done so far, the Giants' schedule is easily the most favorable. Let's take a look here. And they open the season at Tennessee, but then the next 3 games are at home. Then you have a London trip, where you play Green Bay. You come back home to Baltimore. But after Baltimore, you have 2 winnable road games at Jacksonville, at Seattle. Then you have your bye. What's really neat is that Houston does not have a Week 9 bye, so that's a big advantage. And then 4 out of your next 5 games are at home. You have Thanksgiving against Dallas. We're Week 13 against Washington. Washington plays at Sunday, Week 12. So you have a few days extra to prepare for Washington to come to town. Then you have Philly. Now, Washington's bye is Week 14. So, you're going to host the Eagles. Washington's going to get a bye. That's difficult. Those last 4 games are going to be extremely difficult. And I bring that up because I use both the Barstool Sports app and the Caesars Sports app. So when I look at the yearly win total odds, Barstool has 7.5 and Caesars has 7. But what's interesting is Caesars over 7 is plus 105. So a $100 wager will win you $105. If you're going to bet under, use under 7.5 from Barstool, but that's a terrible number. It's negative 155, so you have to wager 155 to win 100. So bottom line, the team says under, but the schedule says over. Now I'm passing because to bet under 7.5, I'm trying to get to 7. This schedule is extremely favorable. I could see 3 wins before the bye, and then after the bye, 4 of those 5 games are at home. I could see 3 wins there, and then going into those last 4 games of the year, if I'm betting the under, then I really need all 4 of those to be losses. But if I'm betting the over, I might be there before that 4-game stretch. I think at minimum I want to have 6 wins because that 4-game stretch is brutal. So if I'm betting the over, I'm basically hoping I can get 3 before the bye. A minimum of 3 out of those next 5, and then I just need 1, or I'm already there before that terrible 4-game stretch. Now I'm passing on betting on the Giants as general rule of thumb. I don't like betting on first-time head coaches. That's kind of a rule that I like to go by. And also, I'm not sold on the Giants as a team, but this is easily the best schedule I've seen so far. So whether you want to take the over or the under is up to you, but over 7 at plus 105 is a pretty solid bet, because I really think that you could probably get either 7 or 6 before that 4-game stretch. So that's kind of the way I look at it. But this is my opinion. This is what I think. I really want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and give me your opinion of what the Giants are going to do in 2022. Now, if you're watching the premiere, I'm going live tonight, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Anything goes. Answer all your questions live. Now, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, like the video, and ring the bell. That way you're notified every time I come out with a new video. Now, I will see you later tonight, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. I go live. Be there.